Welcome back to Wall Street Confidential, giving you news you want to hear about, and this time, actually, some breaking news.
Yeah, I got a scoop here. I think that I've been writing a lot about Merrill Lynch, and a lot of people are coming out of the closet and telling me what really went on. What was in that paper they sold Lone Star? It was made up of almost entirely 2006 mortgages, the worst vintage, from the worst areas, from California, from Florida to Arizona. It was mezzanine, meaning that it was in between a bunch of other things that, after they knocked off the worst, this was being knocked off. My sources indicate that this paper is probably worth no more than 10 cents. Maximum 20 cents, that if anything, Lone Star may have overpaid for it, but when you lump in the financing that was given by Merrill, it's a wash. And I believe that if you take the financing and you overlay it on what price they paid, you get a blended average, if you want to look at it like this, because it's not a recourse to Merrill, of 10 cents. So the reason why this paper is being sold at 10 cents is it's probably worth that. This was a remarkably bad package of CDOs. It was made up of it was made up of tranche after other tranche, very hard to divide, of the absolute worst mortgages out there. It was, without a doubt, continually overvalued by Merrill Lynch, in part because they had bogus insurance on it. They were able to say that it was worth more because it was covered by SCA, which of course then didn't have the money to do it. But as I dig down on this, and my sources indicate, this was the worst of the worst. And the possibility that it could have been written down to absolute zero, given the fact it's mezzanine, not at the bottom, but very close to it, in 2006, indicates to me that Thane did the right thing, that this paper would be worthless over a year or two's time. I do not know how Lone Star intends to work their way out of it, but the cost is so low that maybe there's a call option that some of these loans can come back in a workout environment, perhaps using their accredited home lending servicer. But this was the dregs, the worst of the worst. No one's disclosed that. 2006 worst subprime loans out there that are still, even valued. And people have to understand that Thane, the stock Merrill is running, in part not just because they did a successful offering, but because this stuff was known by insiders as being worthless, and they got something for it.
And Merrill Lynch today worth more than it was yesterday.
Absolutely. This stuff was just going to kill them. You could not play market here. You could not bet that the housing market's going to come back. This stuff was worthless. Close to worthless. You had to get it off your sheets if you were Merrill Lynch. You just would be just being killed by it quarter after quarter after quarter. Perhaps because of 5 years that Lone Star's got its investors locked up, they can make some money off it. But it was the worst.
All right, we're going to see how Lone Star deals with this.
Yes, it was the worst.
Jim Cramer giving us breaking news on Wall Street Confidential. Stay tuned for more.